So on the timber frame that we're doing, because we're not using any kind of sheeting, the siding is more of the sheeting. The windows actually go in now before I put the trim up. So they'll go over the top of the current siding you've seen me install, we'll put the window in, and then we'll trim around it. That way everything is nice and overlapped and sealed. So we're gonna put the first window in. We got these off of Facebook Marketplace. Got it really, really cheap, which is good. We cleaned them up, they're in great condition. We're gonna get this first one installed into this front opening. What you doing? You gotta get down and get underneath of it. You wanna lift your side up. Okay, can you take it on your back hand? Can you lower your, get through the, go to the window like I am. Position your body like I am. Lower your right hand. Yep, we're gonna lift up the bottom, set it on the edge, and we're gonna tip it back into place. Got it? So we've just put that first window. That is an old style window. It does not have the exterior flange on there. Like I said, off Facebook Marketplace. So we'll shim around that and we'll do some caulking and some other things and we'll get it all put in place. But if it went in perfectly, no concerns there. You just move back to the left. Okay, you're good. I swapped over to my crown stapler. This is the back wall of the garden shed. When this was installed, these were touching. This is a This is the kind of the worst example. A lot of the other gaps are, 3/8, 3/16, 1/4 inch. I'm able to fill those with caulking. In this case, I'm going to be using some of this foam filler for these bigger gaps. I'm not trying to make this building totally airtight. It wasn't designed that way, but I am trying to reduce a lot of the airflow that could potentially cause issues. This stuff was milled for like a day before I installed it, specifically on this back wall. This is Doug fir. The rest of the building is cedar, so the cedar didn't shrink nearly as bad. We'll take you over and take a look at what those look like. Significantly smaller gaps. A little bit bigger here, but this is still like 3/8 at most. I'm able to fill this with a little bit of caulking when I put the batten on the outside, and it was all good to go, so there's no light or anything or air coming through these. You're kind of getting a sneak peek here, but I wanted to point out a couple things about the siding in the siding video. So as you saw over there, I had some significant gaps on the back wall where I used Doug fir that was milled and then installed within a day or two of being milled. The rest of the building was cedar I had, and it dried for 3 or 4 or 5 months, but all the gaps turned out pretty well. Nothing that I couldn't overcome when I put the batten on. I put a little bit of caulking on there and seal them up. We're gonna wrap this one up. Board and batten siding installed. We had enough cedar for 3 sides of the front and both sides. I showed you the shrinkage on the back on the Doug fir because I ran out of cedar, so I milled some Doug fir and then installed it. Got significant shrinkage, but the cedar turned out really, really well. Very pleased with it. Cedar board and batten, cedar trim. We did put caulking behind the battens before we put them on to kind of seal up some of that gap. And we haven't had any issues with the sides that I have cedar on, only this side on the back where I have that Doug fir. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you got something out of this one. And until next time, thanks for watching.